Here are 15 tips to dominate in Draft Rumble and assure your victory in Clash Mini. First tip is to max out at least one hero from your hero collection. This allows you to use all heroes at max level. A good candidate for this would be the Barbarian King because 1. He is always strong in the meta because of his design, and 2. By maxing out the Barbarian King you complete your career quest, which is just free progression. My second tip is not actually a tip but more of a bug. So basically the event medals you gain actually helps you complete the gain X amount of trophies quest, which helps you unlock these 2 avatars with an ease. My third tip is to also see the mini which you are getting with the hero, because when you pick minis like the archer with the archer queen, then you don't have any tanks and so your guard is down. So you need to watch out for both the minis as well as the heroes. Fourth tip is to not be afraid of using rerolls in round 1, because your heroes are the main carry, and so if you pick the ones which you are not comfortable with, then it is gonna be a struggle, and if you pick a bad mini, then just don't place it down. It won't be that big of a deal. My fifth tip is to try having a 2-cost mini in round 1. This allows you to assure a gizmo in round 1, and that can almost assure you the win. Also, if you see the king tower, then choose a 2-cost mini in round number 2 too. And this will allow you to have the king tower in the second round, which is a big win. On the topic of gizmos, 2 of the 10 gizmos are disabled. First is the pocket artillery, which is completely deleted from the game right now. And the second is the elixir collector, because here the game goes past round number 5 and so you're gonna end up having too much elixir. Tip number 7 is to only use venture when you have a high chance to win and you can properly utilize the 2 bonus elixir, because if you lose it is gonna cost you 2 hearts, which will hurt your back, and also venturing is a practice which is not promoted and avoid doing it. Tip number 8 is that when your opponent ventures, the update in his HP is immediate and you can see an elixir with a plus icon. This shows that your opponent has ventured. Tip number 9 is to try avoiding splash damage like the giant skeleton and the mechanite. Because of a bigger board, the spread of the mini placement is also increased, which reduces the viability of splash damage. Tip number 10 is that since splash damage is bad because of high spread, abilities that can focus damage on single target or isolated target like the Skeleton King and the Swordsman are quite viable here. Tip number 11 is to always check your enemy's deck during the preparation period to watch out for sneaky clash abilities that can end your career. Tip number 12 is to avoid using clash abilities, because with the larger boards the possibility of hitting the clash ability is reduced from 1 in 5th chance to 1 in 7th. But if you still are stubborn and want to get value, just use them on the gizmos. This reduces the viability of Prince, Spear Goblin and the Monk. Tip number 13 is to never use the Fisherman, because you already have a rough odd of 3 in 14 chance, and if your enemy sees that you have a Fisherman, then he is not gonna place it in an obvious location. Tip number 14 is to place the king tower in the middle of the front row, because in a larger board it can get outranged if the king tower is placed at the extreme ends of the front row. And the final tip is that this is just a casual mode, so just don't sweat hard in this game mode and enjoy the fun of this casual mode.